Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Trailblazers Rising. I'm very excited to bring to you my new friend, the lovely and talented Jenna Fabrizio. And we've been chatting before the recording, and I almost forgot to hit record because I like her so much. So, without further ado, don't let me ruin it for everybody. Jenna, tell everybody who you are and why they should love you.
Oh, I love that. Okay, hi. Thank you for having me. My name is Jenna Fabrizio. I am a licensed clinical therapist. I own a private practice that serves virtually South Carolina, New York, and Florida. And I am also a holistic, integrative worker. So I do a lot of holistic work, Reiki energy work, sound healing. I love to bring community together. And I truly value the collaborative spirit. I am not here for anything that feels competitive. I feel that there is space for all of us to win. So I try to operate from that approach. And that is why you should love me.
That's fantastic. And we love all the energy healers and energy workers here. Shout out to all of you that are listening and watching. And we are going to dive in to my questions because that's what we're here for. So that's what we're going to do. Now, my first question, and these are very good. I crafted all of these with the help of my ChatGPT. So you may need to pause and think. Don't think I'm just lobbing you softballs. We're getting into it. So the first question, in your industry, things are evolving so fast. What's one way that you've had to pivot or adapt in the last year to keep growing?
Ooh, okay. I will say in the last year, I actually went back for a little bit more training to be able to adapt to honestly the growing demand for uh, more significant trauma work. Mental health in general has become much more accepted. There's more awareness for it. There's much more, people are willing to have more of a conversation. So I find that clients are coming to treatment ready to do a little bit more of the deeper dive than maybe they were ready to before. And I wanted to be able to help them, the best of my ability. So I actually, in the last year, went back to do 2 phases of something called brain spotting treatment. And it's a somatic trauma informed therapy. It could be used for processing past traumas. It could be used for getting unstuck. It can be used for making decisions if you're just not sure what direction you're going in. It's just like a beautiful modality. I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I've seen my clients have really beautiful results with it. So I think that has been the biggest thing I've been working on in the last year.
Absolutely. And for everybody listening, she said brain spotting, not train spotting. But if you're a millennial or older, your brain probably went to that movie. And that's not what we're talking about. It's funny you should mention trauma healing, though, because in my
Mm.
scrolls today, which were not long and lengthy at all, they were perfectly healthy in length and nature ish. I watched a video that about Dr. Gabor Mate. He was on Mel Robbins' podcast. And I don't know how I feel about Mel Robbins right now, guys. I really recognize game when it comes to the entrepreneurial spirit in her. But when it comes to what she spits out, I don't really know how I feel about it. I kind of feel like she just regurgitates Eastern philosophies, but I'm not the one to judge. However, they were talking about an experience that happened to her when she was in 4th grade that was very traumatic. And he was able to pinpoint what the actual trauma was. And it blew my mind because I already knew that the trauma has nothing to do with the actual event, but everything to do with how alone you felt when you went through it. And he was able to like laser point, to the fact that when this bad thing happened to her in 4th grade, the real trauma was that she had already felt like she couldn't share it with her parents before this bad thing even happened for whatever reason, right? So the way that he is able to really get people to examine what's actually going on at the core of everything that they believe is wrong with them has really helped me in my work as a mindset coach for female founders who want to be powerful CEOs, because we really can disillusion ourselves for a multitude of reasons. But as a therapist who helps people with their trauma, you also know that it's like getting down into the trenches with them and helping them see what they really need to see is some of the most gratifying work you can do.
100%. Could not honestly have said that better myself. And as you were talking, I'm having this thought or just like the feeling, one of the more newer things that I've been experiencing, I think, as I dive into a lot of the trauma work deeper with my clients, is that I am having my own feelings while it's happening, right? Like I'm feeling for them. I am having these like empathetic moments. I find myself tearing up in sessions sometimes. And it's just like, I'm also recognizing that that's okay because I'm able to show up for them as a human and as a clinician. I'm able to really support and just be there for them while they go through their processing and their experience. But I've, like you said, that I have really leaned into allowing this to be super gratifying work for myself recently.
And it shows. It really shows when you figure out the service and the mission that you quote unquote came to earth to do, and then you really just start pursuing it unapologetically. That's when we start getting our best client outcomes.
100%. 100%. You're putting out what you want to attract. 100%. And I really do believe that.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to know a little bit more about like Reiki and sound healing, but I need to ask you my favorite question first, and then we'll dive into all that good stuff. Because again, here on Trailblazers Rising, we are sharing our story of being a powerhouse, being an entrepreneur, and how, like you said before we hit record, you were a therapist, you weren't a business person. You've had to fucking figure out the business side of this whole time. And it doesn't matter. I have a degree in business, but still sometimes I'm like, wait a minute. And the thing that really throws me for a fucking loop is the psychology behind marketing and how do we keep it ethical when, I have my little evil brain toddler in the back of my mind all the time going, you know what to say to get them to do the thing. And I'm like, I know, but that doesn't feel ethical. So let me ask you this question and then we'll go to the weird place. Okay. Favorite question. What inspired you to start your business and how has that initial vision evolved over time?
Okay. What inspired me to start my business? I don't know if I would call it an inspiration. Oh, hello.
I'm fine. It's okay. Just making
um,
sure you're still here.
I don't know if I would call it inspiration. I say a lot that my business did not come out of like, to be completely honest, it did not come out of this significant planning and like prep work. And I had this great vision and I went for it. My business did not form out of that. My business formed out of honest, complete necessity. I moved, I was making a huge move in my life, personally, and it was a necessity that I made this move, down where I'm located now. And I needed a way to still work and still support myself and make a living. And opening my practice was the easiest way to do that during that transition when everything else in my life was just chaotic. Um, so the inspiration was more of like, this is a necessity. I need to pay my bills. I need to not think about or worry about, I have to go find a new job. I should just do this on my own. And that's what happened. Obviously, that has transformed. So, how has it changed since then? 3 years later, I found out that I really love to be a business owner. I found out that I really do enjoy it now. I find myself having a lot more inspiration and thoughts and goals about what I want for my business. Now I find myself planning more, for the long term in my business and like kind of doing, my guess is now I'm doing what some people did when they first started, when they're ramping up and they're setting all these goals. I find myself doing that now, just because I'm more established in my business and I'm more comfortable in this role. Whereas before, it was just very much like laser focused, blinders on, get this business up and running so that I can have one less thing to think about.
It's so interesting, the evolution of business. And I've worked with people who want to plan out the next 10 years. And I work with people who are like, I just want to work on something today. And I don't even know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. And I was actually just talking about this in my live. I was explaining how the neurotransmitter dopamine works when it comes to a neurodivergent brain, and how, we have the baseline for your dopamine, and ours being ADHDers especially is lower than the average person's. And dopamine is not actually the chemical that makes you happy. It is actually the chemical that like makes you start and complete a task. But when we get these big artificial hits of dopamine from diet soda and TikTok and, drugs, I don't know what I'm allowed to say here. I don't want to get censored, right? When we're filling our life with the artificial big gigantic hits, then our life just goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So when you think about planning for your business, especially,
Mm-hmm. 100%. It's actually funny. I have three post-its on my wall right next to me that I'm looking at, and the middle post-it says fun, and that's a big part of what I'm trying to do this year is make room for fun. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, one thing that caught me off guard, or rather, I'll do it backwards. One thing that I was not expecting was the reaction from people, whether that was people in my personal life or just people in my community. As I started getting out there was with my business, I just kind of, I guess, naively assumed that we were all in this together, right? Like, I'm going to support you, you're going to support me. Um, and so it was pretty shocking for me to learn that not everybody comes from that mentality, and that, some people don't want to celebrate you. Some people don't want to just kind of like be by your side and like support you. Um, and it was really shocking, and a really honestly hard lesson for me to learn. I had to learn it a couple times. um, One of the things that caught me off guard with opening my business and just getting it off the ground, um, initially, was how many people were, at least in what I do, how many people were wanting to kind of come on board in my business and be a client. And whether that was just like in treatment, whether that was in some of like the women's circles and things I was doing in the community, it was positively very surprising and shocking and very rewarding for me to see that there were so many people out here. I don't mean like I'm excited to hear that everyone was struggling, but I'm it was positive to see that people were willing to and wanting to get support, find help, find a way to um, take care of themselves better. Really. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the therapy. Hmm. The most, yeah. Yeah. I think the most surprising thing, I think I've gotten better at this over time, but I think the most surprising thing is that, I'll get a lot of clients that want to come, that are interested, that are motivated, and they come for one thing. They come in, let's say example, like I'm struggling in my relationships, right? And that's the thing that they say they're really needing support on. And over time, and it could be over the course of like a couple of weeks or a couple of months, doesn't matter. But over time, it evolves into something else. And it turns out, and whether they did this, whether they knew it or not, right? And a lot of times I don't know if they really knew it. I think it was just more something that they get really comfortable. They feel they can be safe in the room with me. They feel secure. So it allows something to unlock for them in their brain. But over time, I find that the focus of our treatment becomes something totally different and probably something that like they never really either wanted to address, thought they had to address, or even potentially like very fearful of addressing. Um, so it's always really shocking to me and interesting when they come for one thing and then kind of unlock a door to something else entirely. Um, because I end up seeing them really come out the other side like a totally different person. Yeah. I do. I have had people kind of dive into different elements of it. And I always tell my clients, if they're coming to me for the therapeutic aspect, if they end up in one of my community groups, I will treat them as just a community group member, right? Like their therapy with me is completely sacred and it's kept hidden in a box. No one needs to know about it. But I do have some people that come to both, and I really do like, and this is a big part of why I actually even went into some of the other stuff that I do, the Reiki, the sound, the community. I went into it for my own healing first, and when I did that, and I found how much, even as a therapist at the time, therapy wasn't enough for me. I needed more, and I found sound and I found Reiki, and it changed my life. And I saw how this in connection with therapy could be so supportive for somebody that then I had to go train for myself and then bring this to my clients. Um, but it started with me. I had to do it first. And then I realized how much this could be so supportive and how it could integrate so well into all the other things that I was doing. Yeah. Yeah. My current approach, and it's funny you asked this question because something that I started diving into in the last, I think, year and change now is I also coach people like myself, so other wellness practitioners and other therapists that are wanting to kind of get out there and do either get more visible or just kind of do more than just the one-on-one therapy if they're interested in doing like more workshops or retreats or community work. I do work with them on a one-on-one basis to get out there. So it's funny you asked me that question because I don't think I told you that in the beginning. But so I do use a lot of social media for my visibility. I also do a lot of community and connection and grassroots efforts. I live in a community that I'm thankful that it's small enough where I can get out there and get to know people. I believe in kind of getting out there and putting your toe into other different groups and getting connected. And I have found that being a part of a couple of different networking groups in my area has been transformational for me, just as a business owner, and even just to have friends that are doing this, just like me. Um, and I found over the last couple of years that I am a therapist that likes social media. I'm a therapist that likes to post on Instagram and to be one of those people. And I try to find the balance between like overdoing it and stressing myself out about it, and still just enjoying it. But I am 100% a social media girly. Like I enjoy it. I enjoy making connections online. And I also, and this also has kind of was created over the last year or so, again, in that kind of same mindset of like, I want to make connections. I want to have friends in this field. I want to have people that I can refer to. I don't want to be alone on an island. Um, I have two really awesome friends that have turned into colleagues, and we have founded a collective that is based here in the Carolinas, and we actually all end up are being therapists, the three of us, but we host networking groups and we host combination of networking and self-care groups for other healers, therapists, energy workers, massage therapists, like anyone that's in that wellness space is welcome to join us. And periodically we'll host these different events. It's really rewarding for us as individuals, as clinicians, to just have this ability to kind of give back to our community. It's also a really great way for us to be visible in the community, and to sort of be a starting point for people that are looking to get out there, open their own practices, and are needing guidance. So I between the social media world, my collective, and then just really being visible in my grassroots local community, those are my probably big three when it comes to getting visible. I'm an Instagram girly. It's the easiest for me. I enjoy it. Shockingly enough, this might be transfer. What's the word I'm looking for? Not transformational. But it might be off the cuff, but I've never joined TikTok. That was never something, I've never even had it, which is shocking because most of my friends have it. It's never been my thing. And I think the reason I never did it is because I know myself and I knew if I got on there, it was going to take over my life. You're probably going to yell at me now. But actually, it's I like threads. I was gonna say I really enjoy threads. Yes, it's probably yeah. I'm on Facebook quite a lot, but I don't find that I'm. It's not the place that I go to get as visible as some of those other platforms. But I'm definitely there. But I enjoy threads. It's been more fun. I am actually not on either of those. Do I need to be? Okay. Why is that? Hmm. I could see it. It's definitely like it's one of the what the older platforms that we have. So the caliber of people that you find on it are very vast, I would say. But I like it for just being able to stay connected to people, but not so it's not where I find my biggest visibility. I would say so, yeah. On Instagram, it would be stories. I like stories. Yeah, I do. I get the most feedback. I get the most engagement. I can actually see who's um really connecting with my message. I can have more conversations. It leads to more DMs. I like my stories. Oh no. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. I like it. I need this. I need the spell. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if these are groundbreaking tips, but I try to just always have a little bit of a, one of the engagement stickers on one of my posts, and I try to keep the polls or the quizzes like just fun and lighthearted. And also I love to do, my Instagram is professional, but I love to put in the personal stuff. My dog always makes an appearance in my stories, and she's a cute little baby, so people love her. Um but like I love to put in a little bit of the personal stuff about what I'm doing in my off time. I like to like post stuff about being outdoors and just some of the fun stuff aside from, the heavy stuff that maybe I'm talking about. So those are my two maybe not so groundbreaking tips. hmm I think yes. Um, um, one and on it's kind of like the same for both, right? Like the one answer of what did I have to shift, or one mindset shift that I have to make is being okay with failure and being okay with pivoting, and just recognizing that not everything I put into the universe is going to succeed right away, and that may not be why I'm putting it out there. It might just be putting it out there for my own um, just experience to experiment with it. It's probably going to get me closer to where I need to be. But honestly, getting comfortable with the fact that not everything I put out is going to be this amazing blow up. I'm still considered like a newer business owner, a newer entrepreneur. I'm still in my learning phase. And something I've learned recently is that entrepreneurs are always kind of in a learning phase. We're always creating, we're always doing something new, we're always like expanding and growing. So we're always going to be in a learning phase. So I had to get comfortable with that. Um, Mindset shift that I'm going to keep working on, and this will probably just be like an ongoing one, is the cliche imposter syndrome. It's really hard, and I think it's something that like I I feel like I've gotten a ton better at over the last year or so because I've really stepped into this really new version of myself and like really feeling a sense of confidence in myself as a business owner. But the imposter syndrome doesn't just like magically disappear. So it's I think for me learning to live with it and not allow it to take over. Um Allowing it to kind of be there but not steer the ship. Mhm. 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 I said this yesterday to somebody that, and it's, again, it's not something you've never heard before, but it's something that, like, we all have to really take note of, is that, especially for us that are in this world of helping other people and being business owners, you have to be so in touch with yourself. You have to be so on top of taking care of yourself, of healing whatever you have going on, of really just owning whatever you have going on. Because if you are in this position where you are running something and you're in a position to be supporting and being able to help other people, your stuff has to be taken care of at all times. Not just like take care of yourself first, but just at all times you need to be able to take care of whatever whatever you have going on. Otherwise it will get in the way. Yeah, I'm learning that. Oh goodness. This might be a very basic problem, but I think I would have more help in my business. I would have more people. I would have a team. Right now I am solo entrepreneur. Yeah. um I am a solo entrepreneur. I am the clinician, I am the admin, I am the email marketer, I am the social media marketer, I am everything. I am the financial advisor. Like, I do it all. And um I think I do it well, but it's a lot. And I would love to have a team that has designated roles for what they do so that I can give more space to the things that I really enjoy doing and want to keep doing. Tell me the trick. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Thank you for that. I will definitely, I'm going to hold on to that. Thank you. So you can find me on Instagram. I'm at Soul Society Wellness on Instagram, and there is a link in my bio if you'd like to work with me, really in any capacity. But the main one would be if you are a wellness practitioner, therapist, energy worker, and you would like some support with expanding beyond the one-to-one services, and are looking for a business coach or mentor. You can definitely reach me through Instagram that way. If you are looking for therapy and are located in either New York, South Carolina, or in Florida, which are the three states I'm licensed in, and are looking to really get into the more of the clinical work, but if you're looking to try brain spotting, you can find me on my website. It's rollingintowellness.com. You apps. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.